And there are several reasons for that. One of them being, it is hot. Summer in Japan is no joke. And the only way to survive it really is by either having the AC running all the time, or on days when it's a little bit cooler, like today, or sometimes at night it cools down enough for this too. Just having all of the windows open so that a slight breeze can go through and kind of cool things down a bit. To be honest, I'm also just not the biggest fan of wearing clothes in summer. Also kind of for that reason, like it's not very comfortable. And yeah, none of those are really great for filming videos that I want to put on the internet, so I've kind of been waiting for it to get a little bit cooler and trying to find a day when the sun was still up after work so I could do something that I've been planning to do for quite a while, because I think it's summery and fun and I'm excited about it. But while prepping for this, I realized that today as well the light is almost gone, so tonight I'm just gonna go through all the stuff that I currently have and make sure it's all still good and that hopefully it'll last until tomorrow morning, and then I'll see you bright and early, hopefully. I've been having a little bit of trouble falling asleep at night, which I thought I had moved past, but it seems to come in phases, and I mean, that's okay. I'm trying to learn to be patient with myself and accept that my perfect sleep routine, or whatever routine it may be, could be amazing and perfect and flawless one month and then just kind of go off the rails the next, and that's just human. Just in case you're hearing something odd, I do like to just play some ocean sounds on my laptop while I work. It helps me focus to have a little bit of pleasant background noise of some sort, and this is something that took me many years to figure out, and I wish I had realized it much sooner, because it really does help. And also just when I'm hanging out after work as well, when I do my yoga. It can be really nice to have, especially ocean sounds. I like all types of nature sounds, but for yoga, just hearing the waves crash reminds me to breathe, you know. Anyway, I'm rambling. Okay, let's wrap this up for today. And then we'll enjoy some fruit and veg tomorrow. Okay, well, it's not technically morning anymore, because I woke up this morning and I figured that there's really no point in doing this without peaches. Japanese peaches are just amazing, and I did not want to miss out on having that be part of this. So I went out to get some, because the place where I got most of the other stuff didn't have any. And while I was out, I, got some other stuff done that I needed to do, and it ended up taking a while, and now it's like, I don't know, 1 p.m. and I still haven't eaten, so this is still my first meal of the day, so I guess you could call it breakfast or brunch. And honestly, I cannot wait, because I am so hungry. And also I feel pretty dehydrated from being out in the sun, so having all these juicy fruits and vegetables should help with that, I'm hoping. Okay, well, before we get started, let me just show you our setup here. So we've got some really nice green veggies, and figs, and peach, and some radishes that I found, which I was a little surprised about because I hadn't really seen them here before, and they are tiny, and they came in just this tiny little bunch, and I thought it was so cute with the like green still attached, so I kept it for now, even though it's starting to look a bit sad, but I'll hopefully eat all of these today so I can throw that away. And some really nice tomatoes. Bananas, I just picked the one that was most photogenic, I thought. And then some melon and some cut fruit, which is like a variety of stuff, and we'll get into that in a second. And then nashi, which I love a lot, Japanese or Asian pear, and kaki, also called I think persimmon in English, or persimmon, I don't know, and some plums. I just washed everything so it's still kind of wet and glistening, and an avocado that I hope is the perfect level of ripeness. It's going to be a nice surprise to see, because, you know, avocados are always kind of, yeah, you never know with avocados, so we'll have a look at that. I've got my ocean sounds playing in the background, which helps me relax and create a summery kind of atmosphere. Sorry. Whoa. Oh boy. So I think we're ready. How about this? I feel like this might be a better angle for seeing what's going on, but there is a very real chance that I'll forget to check if my camera is still recording, and then it'll shut itself off and the lens will go in and it'll tumble down and fall all over the place, which will be fun. But let's just see how it goes. Full disclosure, I'm kind of too lazy to take my tablet out of the holder and try to, you know, mess around with that like I usually do. I mean, it does help with getting better angles, but oh my gosh, it's so much work because it, whatever. Anyway, let's just get into it. Alright. So I want to start with this, and there's a reason for that. Alright, so when I have a meal in general, like, I've always done this ever since I was a kid, I think. I like to start with whatever is the least enjoyable part of the meal, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, it just means I kind of like to have the experience get better as I go along, so I've also been known to kind of keep my favorite thing until the end, which can be a problem if you have siblings that like to just take your food because they assume you don't like it or something. Actually, no, my brother would know about that, but it's more friends, you know. Sometimes I've been asked by friends like, oh, you don't like that? Can I have it? And I'm like, no, I'm keeping it for the end because it's my favorite part. But anyway, before I start rambling again, I'm not the biggest fan of grapefruit. I just am not. It's bitter and it's difficult for me to eat, but I know it's very good for me. And for some reason, when they do like cut fruit like this, they like to always include grapefruit. It's kind of hard to get around that in the supermarkets here. But I learned a really useful hack for making grapefruit less bitter. So first of all, let me just separate it from the other stuff. This has been in my fridge for a few days already. And so probably the juices of it already seeped into the pineapple below, which is not going to be ideal, but you know what, let me try it a little bit. It's cold from the fridge. But flavor-wise, it's pretty good. Okay. This is so much grapefruit. It's okay. I can get through it. if I put some salt on top. It sounds kind of weird, at least it did to me. But once I tried it, I was like, oh wow, yeah. It really does neutralize the bitterness somehow. I'm not really sure how that works, but it must be some sort of chemical process, or maybe something about how our taste buds work. But yeah, it definitely works. And since I've been sweating a ton this summer, whew, I'm probably losing a lot of salts from my body, and so it's kind of good to replenish those electrolytes a little bit. Obviously you don't want to overdo it, but I don't know, I touched the grapefruit with the spoon, so now I can't go back in there. That's fine. Maybe this is enough. It's easier to do with a salt shaker, of course, but I don't have one currently. Okay, well, let's see. Wish me luck. The salt is really nice. Yep. Oops. That's pretty good. It's a nice little savory start. Here. Oh no. Yeah, that's not bad at all. It's very fibery, which is probably good. Sorry, I hope my chewing sounds aren't too loud. It's just, honestly, it's just kind of cold from the fridge. That's the main issue with this right now. I really just hoped. Woo, okay. That was a little bit better. Anyway, let's try the red one. Is that grapefruit, or is it actually blood orange or something? I'm not sure. Not bad either. Sorry, I'm starting off with the really boring, like not super exciting part, but I think it's important to remember that even if you don't like something, there can be ways to make it tolerable, you know? There can be ways for you to, if not enjoy it, at least like get through it for your health. I think that's kind of important. I mean, within reason. I'm not saying everybody should force themselves to eat things they absolutely hate or that they have aversion to for one reason or another. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but I've always been the type to give things another try, and another one, and another one. And sometimes it really doesn't work. Like with licorice, every time I'm in a situation where I could try some like black, original, like traditional licorice, I'm always like, well, some people really love this stuff, so maybe someday I'll like it. Like, I remember not liking it before, but who knows? Tastes change. People's preferences change as they get older. I read that we lose some of our taste buds as we get older, which is why children taste everything so much more intensely. Ooh. So, I have been known to just try things again and again, knowing already that I don't like the thing. I'm trying anyway because I'm like, well, maybe today's the day I'm gonna suddenly like it. With licorice, it doesn't work. There are a few things that just make me gag and are just awful. But in general, I'm not a picky eater. So, I am gonna finish eating this, but I don't want to be sitting on camera doing that for the next who knows how long, because as you may have noticed already, I'm a pretty slow eater. So, also in the spirit of making sure the camera doesn't shut off by itself, let's do a little cut. Alright, I did it. Ate all the grapefruit like a good girl. So now I get to reward myself, I think, with something really delicious, which I think I'm gonna go for a fig. So with the figs, I was really worried that they weren't gonna stay in edible condition because I've had them since Sunday and they tend to go bad kind of fast sometimes. But I watched this video, and actually they didn't talk about figs specifically in the video, but I watched a really nice YouTube video about how to make produce last longer. And it gave me some really good tips and ideas, and I think these are still totally fun. Let's see. And I already had to eat a couple of them, which is probably for the best anyway, because first of all, I'm not going to be able to eat all of this in one go, in one sitting today, but also, oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see. The autofocus has been having some trouble lately, but okay. It's basically a perfect fig. I love fresh figs a lot. I love dried figs too, but there's something really special about when they're so fresh. Oops. Yeah, let's use my knife. However, there's something about the skin. The thing about figs is so good. Oh, I love the texture, I love the flavor. Sorry, I keep starting sentences and then getting distracted. What I was gonna say is there's something about the skin of figs. I think they have like really tiny hairs or something on them. And if I eat too many in a row, it really kind of cuts up my mouth. I don't know if everybody has this or if it's just me. But yeah, I can't eat a ton of figs in one go, even though I would like to. I'd love to have an entire meal just be figs. Mmm. They're nature's perfect fruit. Mmm. Mmm. Okay, that was lovely. Never thought about this before, but they also require minimal chewing, so I should be able to enjoy them until well into my old age. It's kind of a weird thing to think about, but yeah. It's another positive point for them. Okay, what are we going for next? I really want to try these radishes, because when I was washing them, I felt like they were a little soft, which was weird. Oh no! Mmm. They're perfectly crisp. Mmm. Maybe now that I think about it, maybe it's normal for radishes to have a little bit of bounce. I haven't had any in so long. In my family, we used to eat these for supper a lot. Just with like, open sandwiches, or what do you call that? You know, just bread with stuff on top. Oh, it's spicy though. Or, yeah, these are the real deal. I don't think I want to eat this part. Okay. Bite. Okay. So these are very nice, but they're a little too spicy for me to eat all of them in one go, so I'm gonna, cut the green part off. Put them in with the tomatoes. Ooh, which by the way I'm gonna have. Yes, that's a good palate cleanser. Okay. I already had one of these tomatoes before. Two. They're really good. Very sweet. Juicy. Okay. Alright, now I can get rid of this green stuff. In that video I was talking about earlier about how to make produce last longer, there was also a tip about actually collecting stuff like that. You know, the greens of root vegetables and also onion skins. I didn't know. And all of that kind of stuff. And you collect it, and then you make broth out of it. Vegetable broth. Which, yeah, why not? Like, if you're gonna strain it. But I never would have thought of that. Even though it's such a good way of reducing waste, you know? Okay. But realistically, I'm not going to do that anytime soon because I'm... hang on. I'm trying to find a way of saying this that manifests self-love instead of self-flagellation. So... my priorities recently have not included cooking. Is that a good way of saying it? that's actually part of why I really wanted to do this today, is because I haven't really had fresh fruit and vegetables in a while, because I've been ordering takeout a lot. And it's been really nice. I've been trying a lot of different things, and I'm lucky that there are a lot of places around my area that deliver many different types of cuisine. And let me try some melon. Let me shut myself up with some delicious melon. Oh my gosh. This tastes legitimately like candy. What? It's not like I haven't had, what is it, honeydew melon or cantaloupe or what, in Japan before, but wow. I bought this just today with the peach, but it's the perfect level of ripeness. I'm impressed. Okay, that was delicious, but I think I'm gonna go back to veggies for a bit. Let's have a little bit of cucumber. Yeah. I love cucumber. It's such a good snack, especially in summer. And you need some hydration. Okay, well, it happened. I got carried away chatting about The Sims, and my camera decided it had heard enough. And the thing is, let's go for the avocado next. And the thing is, there's no real way for me to know when exactly it stopped recording, because it'll stop recording and then for some reason it'll still stay open with the lens open like that for a while, and then eventually it'll turn itself off completely and just die. I don't know. So I don't know how much of my Sims philosophizing you heard, but basically, yeah, I do believe there are psychological reasons why simulating human lives might be appealing to me right now. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm not gonna beat myself up about spending a ton of time playing video games right now. Because honestly, okay. You know, the coloring isn't ideal, but that's just a cosmetic thing. I think in terms of ripeness, this is going to be just perfect. I don't know if you can see it. Let's try. Yeah, I have no idea. I totally lost track of where my sentence got interrupted by looking at this avocado, but that's okay. This is about the produce, not about my profound musings about life and the world and everything. This is soy sauce, in case you're wondering. I figured out that soy sauce on avocado is one of the best things, and it's so easy. Such an easy meal. Just cut it open, put some soy sauce on it, and enjoy. Alright, it's good. It's not very flavorful. I didn't pick the best one, but It's still very healthy fruit either way. And it's gonna give me those lipids that I need. Since everything else is mostly sugar and water, I'm guessing. And fiber. I like mushy things. I don't know why, but it's very satisfying to eat stuff that just kind of dissolves in your mouth. I feel much better already. I know this about myself now, and I've known it for a few years, that it really affects me very negatively when I forget to eat. And forget to eat is kind of misleading because it's usually not that I'm not aware I haven't eaten. It's more that I sometimes wonder if I don't feel hunger in the same way that other people do. I just notice myself getting irritated. That's usually a tell. Or restless or anxious. And I used to not know why. And then I started paying more attention to how I take care of myself. Or don't. And I realized that sometimes I would, at work, I would sometimes go until like 2 p.m. without eating anything. All day. Ooh, look at this very clean job that I did here. I could use this as a bowl for something. I mean, I won't, but I could. Okay. I'm scatterbrained today. That could be a symptom. Oops. I've kind of not taking perfect care of myself recently too. Okay. Came out super clean, but still seems like there's some avocado attached to the pit. And I hate wasting food, so I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? Okay. Most days, in fact, I think this month, every day except 2 or maybe 3, I have been keeping up with doing yoga every single day. And that's obviously really good. I'm very pleased with that. And it helps me a lot with muscle tension, like preventing muscle tension from happening. But something I've noticed just recently, over the past few days, is that I tend to get irritated again. So instead of just kind of laughing it off and I don't know, maybe heckling my YouTube yoga teacher a little bit when I'm when I don't want to do the things he tells me to do, but in like a fun way, you know? Instead of that, a more positive attitude. There have been a couple days where I genuinely got frustrated, like I would be doing some strenuous pose. Usually it's the leg ones that get me. High lunges, and especially if I have to be in a lunge and then turn and twist and, you know, put myself off balance. I don't know why, but I've been having a really hard time with that. So I've been falling over a lot, and or just struggling, you know. And yeah, instead of laughing about it as I usually would, and by usually I mean like, it took me a lot of practice and a lot of mindful self-talk, observation, I would say, to get to that point where I could be that way with myself, you know, patient and loving like that. But I don't know, recently it's been more like, oh my god, just move on already from this stupid pose, you know, that kind of thing, like really negative, or like, what the heck's wrong with me, like, can I do this? I don't know, it's just something I've noticed, and I think it's important to take note and be aware. Yep. Okay, so I am not entirely sure how much longer the camera battery is gonna last me, and as I said at the start, having peach is something that's very important to me in this, because if we're gonna do a video about enjoying fruit and vegetables, Japanese peach has to be part of it. So let's do that next. Oh, even just smelling it. It smells really delicious. Okay. Let's cut into it. So it's a little firmer than I would like, and I'm a little worried that it's not quite ripe yet. In which case I'll be a little bit disappointed, but it's okay. I have another one, and I'm gonna keep it on my counter and let it ripen for a bit longer. Okay, let's do a cut. Okay. Oh. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at this beauty. I have no idea whether you can see the color that it is inside, but it's this just beautiful white, pinkish flesh. Okay. The texture, it's a little too firm for me, but the flavor is there. It's definitely there. Not as sugary sweet as it could be, but it's hard to Get it off the pit. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. Maybe now you can see a little better. It's just so perfect. Oh my gosh. And here's a perfect little wedge. I kind of squished it a little here, but what a beauty. Compared to anywhere else I've lived, Japan just has the most perfect looking produce. I think they just really value aesthetics a lot here. But for that reason, it's also quite expensive compared to other places. Like, for all this stuff, oof, I think I spent a small fortune. My camera battery died, and so that's the end of the video, and I think it's actually kind of funny where it ended. Please eat your fruit and vegetables. See you next time.